If you want Back to Godhead magazine from the 80s, the only way you can acquire it legally is through a court order. If you go to the Back to Godhead website, the magazine, old vintage copies of the magazine are not publicly available. You would have to acquire some version of a court order or legal document to acquire vintage copies of a print publication that was started by Srila Prabhupada and dedicated to his spiritual master. Now we begin to ask ourselves, why do I need a court order? It's because the content is not publicly available. It was publicly available in 1980, 1985, 1990, but there's a gap. Specifically, there's a gap between the years of 1982 and 1987. This is a period in time effectively known as the Zonal Acharya era. I say again, Zonal Acharya era. This era ended in 1986 when the new system was begun in ISKCON for initiation called MAS, Multiple Acharya Successor System. In the GBC bylaws and in official GBC policy, the Multiple Acharya Successor System is the current system of initiation. It is a community-based approach where a community will elect a senior devotee to become a spiritual master, and this devotee undergoes a rigorous and prolonged evaluation period. So today's question is, why is it that Back to Godhead magazines from the years 1982 through 1987 are not publicly available? What does Back to Godhead have to hide? More specifically, who was the editor-in-chief of Back to Godhead during that period? What is their recollection? What is their previous recollection? And what are the current public documents that we have available? What can we as the public access legally? So these are important questions. And in the next part of this video, part 2, we'll explore the subject even further. So thank you very much.
Now, here's Larry King. Good evening. Back in Washington, another edition of Larry King Live. Is he an unconventional religious leader or a ruthless cult dictator? Swami Bhaktipad is in the eye of the storm in a case involving murder, kidnapping, and mail fraud. Son of a Baptist minister, Bhaktipad founded a Hare Krishna community in the hills of West Virginia 21 years ago. In a swirl of controversy, the Swami was kicked out of the Krishna movement 3 years ago. Bhaktipad, previously known as Keith Ham, has been named in 5 counts of racketeering charges, including conspiracy to commit murder against Stephen Bryant, who had waged a one-man campaign against him. We welcome back to Larry King Live, Swami Bhaktapad, who also has a book out called How to Say No to Drugs. This book is independently published, and if you want information on obtaining it, write to us, Larry King Live in Washington, and we'll get the book and the information to you.
Showed it here with ISKCON in the 80s. Today I'm here to tell you about 4 ways you can help the channel. Number 1, please become a subscriber. Subscription growth is the #1 metric that YouTube uses. Number 2, please comment. Your feedback helps me direct the narrative of the channel. Number 3, visit the eBay store today. On eBay you will find me known as West Coast Yoga. And finally, number 4, chant Hare Krishna and read Prabhupada's books. Thank you very much.